Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Are you tired of losing to Paladins and Druids on the ladder? I have the cure. It's a rather expensive cure, but a cure nonetheless. This is my take on Highlander Mage for Scholomance Academy, and I had an 83% win rate while playing this deck, so it was doing very well. This deck is now one card different from my Theorycraft list that I made for this expansion, and that one card difference is that I took out the Frostbolt because I was expecting weapon meta and I wanted to freeze faces, and I put in Devolving Missiles because it turned out to be a buff meta. And what removes buffs? Devolve removes buffs and turns buffed up minions into tiny little creatures, and that card has just been phenomenal in this deck. So even though Highlander Mage typically has quite a lot of removal that is damage based, and lots of these minions are just too big to remove with damage, then there is Devolving Missiles, there's the chance to roll Polymorph from Malygos, there's of course the amazing Reno, which is phenomenal, it's simply amazing, and there's a bunch of freezes to delay, so Highlander Mage actually does have a lot of tools to also fight in this buff meta. And a couple of new cards fit in nicely into the archetype. There's the Devolving Missiles, there's Combustion for some early defenses against aggression, and then there is the phenomenal Chandy Sparrow. 5-mana 2/1 Battlecry, summon 2 random 5-cost minions, secretly pick one that dies when it takes damage. And that's just a great card. You can drop it on curve, it's a lot of stats on the board, you can start fighting for the board immediately. You can play this together with Conjurer's Calling, so I think Conjurer's Calling is a card that you want to run in Highlander Mage right now. It has come and went in previous builds, but now with Chandies in the deck, then Conjurer's Calling just has so many more good targets now. There's one more new card that I have in this build, and that's the Crimson Hothead. I want one dragon in that slot, and I haven't maybe found the right dragon yet. Crimson Hothead has been mediocre at best. Then again, most decks run Twilight Drake in that slot, which is maybe even worse than mediocre at best, so you kind of want that dragon in order to activate your dragon synergies, and that slot is for the worst dragon that you're putting in. What is the best worst dragon that you can have? Maybe it could be like an evasive Dragonid. I really don't know about that slot yet. Other than that, the deck feels really good. You have a lot of things that you can do. You can remove tons of threats. You're able to scam some games with Dragoncaster and Puzzle Box. You have the amazing Reno, which just generates infinite random value. You have a lot of big threats. You have a lot of ways to stall the game. Just a very fun and complicated deck to play. Very grindy games overall. It doesn't win very quickly, but it does win a lot. As for the mulligans with this deck, you typically want to have defensive tools depending on the matchup that you're up against. Sometimes like Devolving Missiles, sometimes it's the Acidic Swamp Ooze. Sometimes even something as expensive as Reno the Ecologist will do, just to get those clears, and of course always keep Zephyrs. Whether you use it early for defense, whether you use it for ramp, or whether you save it for later, it's just such a flexible card to have. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also support the content that I create by joining as a paying member on YouTube or joining as a subscriber on Twitch, where I live stream 6 days a week, so down below in the description you can find a link to my Twitch channel so you can check that out as well. And now, let's go take a look at Highlander Mage in action. Maybe I even keep a Devolving Missiles. I mean, even if it's some other warrior deck. Devolving Missiles might still be pretty good. Alright, let's go. Up against the warrior. Might as well enable the battle rages. They're not even running all the warrior decks anymore. I don't think it matters. Corsair Cache is running pretty much everything, so that doesn't tell me anything about what the warrior is. And if there's like an Ankar played here, that also doesn't tell me much. Although big warrior decks don't run Ankar, it does actually tell me a little. Alright, it's not a big warrior. Can be control, can be enrage, can be eggs, can be bombs. Still a whole bunch of things that it can be. Let's see how this one's going to go. One of the 2 Druid legendary cards so far. Yeah, but you're going to be playing Druid anyway, so there's no downside. There's absolutely no downside if you're always going to be playing Druid. I don't think I want to devolve that one, although it is an option. So I could do Malygos, Aspect of Magic here. What if this one is copied? Then I just devolving missiles it, right? This Malygos, let's see about the spell. Malygos' Flame Strike might be okay. So good the Nova, but I think we'll take the Flame Strike. I'll just take one hit over there, here. I think that's fine. If you want to go with the route where you rampage that and stuff, I guess I'm fine with it. Oh! Eat it, Terran. Eat it. Slightly less impressive Terran. There are of course a couple of skippers in hand, so do I want to commit the Jandies now? I'll commit the Jandies. Yeah, I think I want Rust to stick around if possible. Probably won't, but yeah, I didn't have devolving missiles in my original deck. That's the only change from the Theorycraft that I made, because I noticed that the meta is such that devolving missiles is really good. I didn't expect a meta where devolving missiles is really good, but I of course recognize that there can be meta games where this is a good card. And this one turned out to be one of those meta games. But that loss of Terran is rather hilarious. There's still one Blood Zone left. Both Inner Fires are still there. There's still a lot of stuff coming. And just the Imprisoned Observer. Hit into the Almasmith, ping into the Skipper. Ras goes face. And Ras kills them. Alright, alright. So far so good. Good evening, Barrett. There's still that 20 plus burst that this warrior deck is capable of. So maybe even more with that. Do I want to commit Malygos' Flame Strike on this board? This deck could still have Deathwing in it, but I have a lot of freezes. So I suppose I might as well. Any other ways to clean it up? No, not really. Let's clean it up with that one. Still at 26, so I cannot be killed with the immediate burst from hand. Yeah, I'm fine with that one. Getting a Grom out of that. If Grom were to go face... Luckily it didn't. If that Grom went face, I would have been at 22. So there would have been much more room to set up for lethals. Well... Oh, that was a bonus Rampage, by the way. It was not from the original deck. So the original Rampages are still there. So I can choose to commit a Deep Freeze here. Or I can simply Ray of Frost. Copying a Frozen Grom is still a Frozen Grom. I think I'll go for the Ray of Frost here. And just develop the Doomsayer on this board. killing this 7 health minion. My warrior has 6 cards, maybe warrior has a way to do that, but if warrior commits a lot of resources into killing this in order to protect the Grom, I can just amazing Reno. That additional value though, totally randomly generated additional value, could be useful for the warrior. Also ways for warrior to reach. This is the last weapon. Yeah, so let's take it away. I'll take that away. I'll still freeze the warrior. But I still feel happier with no weapon in hand for the warrior. Alright, had the Deathwing. Fine. This warrior deck is getting a lot of value out of nowhere. That's a little scary. Well, now I can just combustion away the Deathwing, ping and combustion. Is that powerful enough? I suppose it is. There's just so much burst damage remaining for the warrior deck. I'm a little bit concerned. Interesting. But I still think this is a combustion turn. We'll clean up that threat. But there's the Corcrons, and there's more Rampages and Inner Rages, and 1 Bloodstone Mercenary left. That's awkward. Warrior probably doesn't commit anything else, right? Yeah, I figured as much. Don't amazing Reno that away, so that warrior doesn't get the Solarian Prime. Perhaps it is not yet the time. Maybe we can just set up Caligos here for Pyroblast. I'll just freeze that. We'll give this a try. Alexander with the chair. What do you think of Pally Blessing of Authority? It seems to be a useful card so far. It's like mediocre performance in the Paladin list that run it, but it hasn't been bad. So I think it might have a spot in the decks.
You've got me fired up. Now we're cooking.
More Thought Steal stuff. And Lucky. Well, I suppose I have to kill them. No lethal here. I do get pretty close though. I'm Pyroblasting Phase here. Dropping the Rolling Fireball to kill the minions. Then hitting the warrior in the face too, and pinging the warrior in the face. Can the warrior have 24 burst damage? I'm uncertain. There's 1 Armor Smith left. Alright, warrior was able to find that Armor Smith. Alright, burst damage is gone with the Bloodstone Mercenary spent. That's a piece of good news. Burst potential is now gone. There is the Solarian Prime, of course, because I chose to kill it. I mean, I might as well try with the puzzle box, right? Instead of the Reno. But puzzle box might give the warrior a lot of armor too. 5 cards left in the warrior's deck. I mean, there are Corcrons and Inner Rages. And there's still Rampages. How much can 1 Corcron deal? 8 plus 9. 17. There will be 17 damage. Without any mercenaries.
Magic mines.
I think I'll give the puzzle box a try. I like where this is going now. That's a good puzzle box. That was a good puzzle box. There is the Solarian Prime left in the warrior deck. Perhaps the Solarian Prime has some kind of an answer to this board.
I challenge you to Makkara!
Challenging my stuff to Makkara is not going to do much. And Proxy Redemption, yeah, but...
Purity!
Don't have lead. I had lethal with the Alex. Right. I think I did. I don't have any damage spells. No. I don't have a Zepris. No. I might discover a damage spell. Yeah. That works. I was actually considering keeping Conjurer's Calling, because it can kill some stuff. Hi, Hakana. Like some buffed up minions, when you Conjurer's Call them, give the opponent a couple of minions of the original cost. The puzzle box is better. It's just good. You have to set up, Yog. You can just chill and then play puzzle box. No setup required. Paladin my favorite. Yeah, we'll see. I might need some devolving missiles to win this one. Many of the Paladin lists have dropped Consecration though, and I think that seems a little weird. Although statistics are showing that the ones that are running Consecration are doing better than the ones without it. Alright, we'll just start to play stuff on curve here. Starting with this Solarian. There's no silence in the Paladin deck, so Solarian Prime will be in my deck. More Highlander Warrior today. No, I already completed that deck, so I can't play the same deck again. I have to make material of new decks, so I can't go back to old decks. Put Consecration back in. Yeah, the most successful decks are running Consecration at the moment. And hi, R. Blake. I'm doing fine, thanks. Whoa, what? Why? Whoa, who? 4 mana. What if there's like a Blessing of Kings next turn? I think I just pinged that away. I don't want to face a Blessing of Kings now. Just what is going on here? I don't understand. So no Allura in hand.
Reporting for duty. Submit, heretic!
Don't want the Imprisoned Observer out there. At some point I would like to have it. And I think it's just the Bone Rate will do for now. Might set up for useful combustion turns. Yeah, GD marks, that is something like, also funnily enough, every YouTube video that I make, every time someone writes a comment that I only won because my opponent was bad. And like, what can I do about it if every single Hearthstone player in the world is bad? There really isn't much I can do. That's like some typical feedback that I get. I think we just dropped the Gendies here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. It's impossible to say which one of those will die. I mean, like, of course there are people who are playing poorly in High Legend. They can be tired, they can be drunk, they can be playing a new deck for the first time. There are so many reasons why someone would be playing poorly in Legend. So it's not like... Of course that happens. Tons of reasons. But it's funny how it's talked about in every video. Blessing of Authority. Yeah. I cannot get rid of that. I would need a freeze. Or a polymorph. Yeah, that one. That one's good. Let's do that. I could have saved that for later, to get rid of some other buffs. Librams, in particular. But I figured that it would be better to use it now. And then I have more time to find evolving missiles. I have more stuff that I can discover. There's still many more things that can happen. I think I want to kill that, right? So I'll open up with the hot head. I have to sacrifice both of these. Yeah, but it's okay. Do I even ping first? Do I just play the Arcane Breath? Doesn't really matter both ways, it's going to die. So I'm gonna discover the spell first. Ooh. That's the type of spell that I like. And I do trade it away. Alright, now I even have a bonus devolving missiles. I didn't want to devolve the Libram of Hope. I want to devolve something that has Librams on it. Or buffs on it. That's the kind of stuff that I want to devolve. Not an 8-drop that devolves into a 5-drop, which is still pretty good.
I do love a good study session. I do love a good study session.
Alright, that's pretty good. It's still not getting through without some other things though. Let's just Doomsayer and ping into one of those. Has to gain access to the Doomsayer somehow. 4 + 1 is just 5. So buffing one of these isn't even enough to get access to the Doomsayer. And Allura buffs itself. Alright, that was exactly enough. This deck was running the Consecration. Very well, very well. But in a position like this, I can coin Reno, and I get rid of this Libram. Alright, one Libram of Wisdom disappeared. Paladin has 2 1-drops. This one's going to wake up next turn. Good luck playing those 1-drops. There's a Liadrin. So now there is a Libram of Wisdom and a Libram of Hope in hand. Does not want to play them. Alright. Ooh, an Evocation. Alright. Lost a card tooth, but Spellbender seems pretty good in this particular matchup. So I think I will be playing that. And I think I'm going to be playing a Magic Trick for a Flame Ward. Is Flame Ward okay? It might be fine, yeah. I could also try to get something with another Evocation. Success is not known though. Maybe that, and then a little bit of evocating here. Have another 2 mana that I can spend. I could draw 1 card. Drawing 1 card seems acceptable. Alright, we'll do it like that. So now there's also Spellbender. So the next buff that is being targeted on a minion actually lands on my minion. Which is another way to steal the remainders of the Libram.
That's an upgrade, probably.
Not a bad minion, but I still have a combustion left too, so it's not a problem. And alright, some discounts, cool. So all good so far. So I could combustion To kill these two leaves only that one alive. And that's just barely. I could play the Dragon Queen. What if I played the Tolan? I have Deep Freeze, Power of Creation, Blizzard Fireball. There's still a bunch of spells left in the deck. Doesn't necessarily give me a good spell. The Combustion turn is just a little weak. Killing just these two minions here. Maybe I'll give the Dragon Queen a try. What did the Paladin play last turn? Nothing too impressive. I can just jam a Storm out there. Let's do that. A couple of 8/8s. Seems good. So, Paladin's next move. Alright, triggers the Flame Ward. Pow! Loses some of that board. Too bad the minion is still summoned on the Paladin's side. Another Blessing of Authority. Respect my authority. Devolving Missiles time. Paladin played Libram of Hope, Blessing of Authority. If I can clear this board and play Murozond, that would be insane. I think I want to do that. I want that Blessing of Authority. And I want the Libram. So I'm willing to sacrifice the Alexstrasza. I'll just do Combustion over here. Trade with the Alex. Go face with this. Play Murozond. So now the stuff is going to hit my minions. Seems acceptable. 1660 Murozond. I have seen one Libram of Justice and one Consecration so far. That's a 2-drop. I have a Devolving Missiles. Not to mention there's lethal on board. Maybe Gendies is fine. It might also be too slow. I'm not certain yet. I can never get Zephyrus to give me silence when I want it. I bet I won't be able to get it this game either.
I cannot wait to read these.
Alright, Librams. I suppose I'll ping there. Get to work on that, maybe it's helpful at some point. Tough. I really don't want Soulfire. There's no other 1-mana card that deals 4 damage. No, Lightning Bolt only deals 3. Maybe I could have picked up Silence, but I don't want Silence yet. It's too early. We're trying to limp our way to a turn 7 puzzle box here. Hopefully it wins the game. Have you tried no Minion Mage? I have not. I'm under so much pressure. Do I just need to take away the True Silver Champion? I think I do. I'm under too much pressure here. It's time for an Acidic Swampooze. I can remove the weapon. The odds of a Consecration in hand are fairly low. You would never keep it against the mage, and it just isn't likely that there is one. But there was.
What makes something
Gendi's time. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's see. Do you think this game would be better if you could set an opening hand or draw order? No, this game would be infinitely worse. This game would be a disaster. Question regarding Fidesz Druid. Shoot. Gonna have some fun. Alright, I survived the first wave of assault from the Paladin. Can I survive the second? How to replace Anubisat? Lunarega, just use my deck. I don't run Anubisat. Just use that list, it's perfect. Well, according to statistics, Anubisat is relatively strong, so it's still a little bit of an open question whether Anubisat is good enough to make the cut or not. It possibly could be, but it's not necessarily good enough. I don't think I have to puzzle box yet. I can just trade that away. Play a couple of minions. I don't think Anubis is that great right now. Yeah, but statistics are telling that it is still pretty good. But the question is it better than having a wild growth, for example? Although there are some lists that also run the wild growth. And then there's some lists that replace the crystal power with Anubisat. Is that better? Depends, I don't think it is, but who knows. Don't to Dragoncaster now. I guess I don't. What's the hurry? Just hit face. Losing a pupil, okay. That's fine. Now, 5 random Paladin cards. Those can be many things. There could be a Libram of Hope in hand. There have been a couple of cards that have been there for a long time.
What would Uther do?
Become the hero. This world.
Alright, and High Abyss. That could bring a lot of things. Random Paladin secret. Haha! Cast a Libram of Hope. So sweet. So I think we're going for a puzzle box.
I must have slain 100 or so.
I think this is a puzzle box. Alternatively, it could be a Blizzard. But if it's a Blizzard, I'm still not pushing through very effectively. Can I die with the failed puzzle box? Yeah, I can. But I think it's worth a try. Show me the box. What's in the box? Alright. A decent opener. That's not so great because it just disabled my Dragon Queen. Procs the Eye for an Eye. So my Dragon Queen is now disabled. That's not so great. Other than that, things are looking quite alright. Puzzle Box did what Puzzle Box is expected to do. Killed some stuff. So far so good. I have 14 damage on board. And then I have 1 from Rapid Fire. So if Paladin doesn't heal, kill minions or taunt up, I actually have a lethal setup here. But with 9 mana, Paladin should be able to do something. So it probably won't be lethal. But it's funny that there is a potential lethal setup. Yeah, that kind of means that there wasn't a lethal setup then anymore. More random Paladin secrets. Oh dear. Well, Alexstrasza is active. But what if there's like a redemption?
Perhaps.
Deep Freeze sounds good. Maybe a Deep Freeze will do. In case there's a redemption, I want to kill that first. Maybe I shouldn't have spent the blizzard. Nah, spending the blizzard was probably wrong. Spending the blizzard there was probably wrong. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have done that. That was not good. Should have just let go of the minions. It would have been okay. Blizzard was more valuable.
What would Uther do?
Maybe picking that deep freeze was wrong too. Should have perhaps picked the blizzard. A couple of little bit questionable things there. So many paladin secrets with all those desperate measures. What if it's repentance? But I play like Caligos. Oh, that sucks.
Reporting for duty.
The best defense is a great defense.
Enough stuff on the board to kill Alexstrasza, not to mention potential buffs from hand. 3 random cards, only 2 cards then from deck next turn. Spell burst still available for Goody. I think I'll need to just deep freeze the Goody and ping the 1/1. I think this is okay. Now if there's a spell played, then the spell burst effect is wasted, because the Divine Shield cannot just renew.
What would Uther do?
So far so good. Sword of Justice. Doesn't want to waste the spell burst.
I do love a good study session.
And there is still the secret left.
I must have sleep.
And there's a lot of stuff on this board. Caligos would have to give me a good spell. There's 9, 10, 11, 15, and 17, 18 damage on board. Caligos for a spell.
Interesting.
Or Dragon Queen Alex. And still Repentance, Noble Sacrifice, Eye for an Eye. All still available. I guess I need a good spell. That's a pretty decent spell. If I survive a turn. I should survive a turn, it was Repentance. I should survive a turn because I can play the Ice Barrier here. Then Evocation, well I can't puzzle box from Evocation. Because the Repentance allows to kill the Caligos. We'll see. I'll get a handful of spells, they might be enough. They might be just enough. I still have the amazing Reno in the deck as well, so if I can top deck the Reno, then that should of course win the game.
Reporting for duty.
Not the Reno. Alright. Evocation time. Paladin is at 19. Flame Strike doesn't kill a whole lot here. So it has to be the Blizzard. 12 damage here, but that's not enough to kill, so this will be a Blizzard turn. Do I ping in the Blizzard? Then I could get rid of Goody 2 shields. Perhaps. Or do I set up an Ice Barrier, go to 24? 18, 24 on board, so that doesn't really... It does kind of help. I think it's the Blizzard and the Ice Barrier. Let's do it like this. Buying more time to potentially top deck the Reno. Although it's only 1 in 15, so it's not that likely.
Round 2.
I have some freezes. I have even more freezes. Do I survive with 1 ray of frost? Freezing this one. 15 damage on board. Yeah, I can survive with that. So I can play the Dragon Queen. Twin Tyrant doesn't actually kill the minions. So I will need to freeze that. I think I'm also hitting over there. Freezing that one too. That leaves the Paladin with just 10 on board. Even more lifesteal. Everything has lifesteal. Alright. Those 1-cost minions can be annoying. If the Paladin fills the board, the Twin Tyrant isn't that effective then. Total and Pilgrim. What do I have in deck? I have Deep Freeze, Power of Creation. I don't have good enough stuff in the deck. And I'll have to Frost Nova this board as well. Let's see what that one is going to hit. Oh! That one hit good. That one hit very, very good. Good Twin Tyrant. That's the Twin Tyrant I love. So I have a lethal setup with the Alexstrasza. Even better when I play the Ooze. Alright. Paladin has 1 Light Force Blessing, 2 1-drops. And 1 card from the deck. What is the 1 card from the deck?
The battle is over. You win.
Look at that. Another pure Paladin defeated. They seem to all die, in the end. Sometimes things seem rough, then somehow the mage wins anyway. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please click the like button and subscribe to my channel for more.